Happy Halloween! Favorite time of year is definitely right now for me. Obviously, it's getting cold out. I'm not sweating my butt off 24/7 because it's so hot outside. It's gonna snow soon. And in general, I love Halloween and this time of year. And you can't really see, but my daughter and I, we put up some fake spider webs and did some decorating actually. She really loves it. There's Halloween stickers all over the place. Her room's decorated. It's actually pretty cool. And like I say, it's my favorite time of year, so it's Halloween. And I thought, I've never really done this before, so why don't we do a metal cover? So I got thinking, I'm like, well, I could do a Halloween cover. Everyone's done one of those sort. What about Freddy Krueger, Friday the 13th? Meh. Now, if you are my age, Tales from the Crypt probably rings a bell. And it's one of those shows from the late 80s and 90s where, as a almost teenager growing up, it was one of those shows that you wanted to catch. I mean, it had everything that you wanted. Cool character, corny jokes, interesting episodes, some of them with some really messed up twists and things that could blow your mind. Obviously, you had the scares and the gore, but most important for an almost teenage boy would be the scantily clad women with lots of skin and various other things. Basically, everything that we can't have anymore because somebody somewhere somehow will be offended, and it will make it their life's mission to make sure that you can't have any fun. Now, if you've never seen this show before, I am positive you've heard the theme song. You know, it's Halloween, Tales from the Crypt. You've probably heard it but haven't made the connection. It was written by Danny Elfman. Now, that name should ring a bell because Danny Elfman has been a part of some of the biggest projects over the last 20, 30 years. You know, the original Batman, the original Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, Nightmare Before Christmas. Danny Elfman wrote the music for all of those movies. But given that Elfman is on record saying he loves metal and recently doing his own, sort of metal things and Halloween, I thought it fitting to metalize the Tales from the Crypt theme song. So the first thing I had to consider was the original theme song is orchestral. It's got timpani, tuba, brass, strings, all these things. But I wanted to use synths and guitars. So the first thing I had to do, find synth sounds. And I'm not a sound designer, or I can't do wavetable synthesis, but I got a friend who does, and he does a very good job at it. So Christian runs tonepusher.com. He was just putting out a new preset pack for Serum. It happened to coincide perfectly with what I wanted to do. So I experimented with a lot of the different patches and presets in there. I found a lot of good sounds that I could use that could incorporate the orchestral melodies. And let me just say, if you're looking for Serum preset packs that are super affordable, like ridiculous, like $10 Canadian affordable, Christian's the guy you want to go to. Is tonepusher.com. Anytime I use synth stuff, I'm using his stuff. Anyway, let's have a listen to what the patches sound like real quick. They sound like this. For bass, I didn't do anything crazy. It's 0 bass, 3 MIDI bass, done. Now, for drums, I wanted something natural but hard hitting and not necessarily, ooh, that's tune track. So I've been using Photospinato drums a lot lately, and that's what I used here. I used Photospinato drums, just programmed some cool double bass beats, and they sound like this. Now for the guitars, I wanted to experiment a little bit. Mendel had just given me his new preset pack for IRs that have just released. I'll put a thing here. And I just went through one of his IRs and I picked one. I have no idea what it is. It just says cab 1, cab 2, cab 3. I have no idea what they are. So what I did was I played my Engel Savage 120 Mark I, created a normal guitar tone per se, and then I was like, yeah, this is Halloween. Let's break out the big boy. So I actually used the Death Saw for the second pair of guitars, which is basically an HM2 with one knob. And looking at this thing, I realized that Chris has been waiting a long ass time for me to make a video about this, and this is embarrassing. But this is the Death Saw from Jupiter Effects. It is a amazing HM2 pedal, very musical, very usable. Sounds like this. For the lead melody, you know, I know what works. I went ahead and used the Archetype Pliny X, and actually I have a preset that I made in my old school black metal preset pack called Soloing in Church. That's pretty much the one I always load up if I need a solo sound. I adjust the settings a little bit, and yeah, pretty much done. So, sounds like this. Now, there's one extra element here. When I was recording this, I realized there are certain elements of the orchestral bit that Danny Elfman wrote that are kind of missing here. He's got these kind of staccato chords going, and I really didn't put that anywhere in the song. Some of the synths were doing that, but I was like, you know, there's something I can do here to kind of get that percussive out of it. And I was thinking to myself, clean sounds. I originally had did a clean sound just for the beginning to double the intro, but then what I did is I broke up some of the chords that are in the original composition, and I actually spaced them out. I'm doing a melody on one side and the root note of the chord on the other, and they're on either side of the speaker, and it ends up sounding really cool, adds some depth into the mix. Just sounded neat. The sound for that is the Dungeon Cult preset, also from the old school metal pack. For Archetype Pliny X. All that can be found on my website, but it sounds like this. Now from there, I just mixed it up and realized something was missing. I mean, how can I have a Tales from the Crypt metal song without the Crypt Keeper? That is dumb. You know, it's like, how can you do that? So I took some time to look through some episode intros. Usually there's an intro, the Crypt Keeper introduces the episode, and I tried to find some cool iconic lines, and then I just kind of put them in here a little bit. Let's hope I don't get destroyed by YouTube system here or whatever if this thing doesn't get taken down. It's the first time I'm ever doing this, so I don't know how bad I'm going to get F'd in the A if that's going to happen or not. So here we go. I present to you the metal version of the Tales from the Crypt intro song. Let me know what you guys think of the song, and if you have seen the show, tell me what your favorite episode is down below, and in general, how do you like this kind of video? Is this format cool? Is it interesting? If you don't want to leave a comment, just hit that like and subscribe button. That'll help me understand if this is a video that you would like to see in the future. I don't know. You got to help me figure out the YouTube algorithm because I can't do it by myself. So you tell me. Hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, yes, no, anything like this. Just let me know how I should go forward, okay? Anyway, happy Halloween. I'll see you guys in the next video.